But, like, here we go. Now back to hypocrisyvillenfl.com here, okay? Here we go. Is this egregious as an owner telling a head coach, I'll pay you $100,000 to lose a game? I mean, come on. I mean, this is where, to me, the NFL has the issue. You know, we haven't even gotten to this. We got an owner, and we got people that are witnesses that offered a coach to lose games $100,000 prize every time he loses. And now we're gonna suspend the player again. Again, players, like, to your point, they're always investigated and everything's, you know, and then when it comes to the owners, it's just, we're not going to investigate that. It's not a big deal. Who cares? We're the owners. Don't do that to us. We're oligarchs. How dare you investigate us? The investigations are for peasants. I mean, what? How are they going to handle that? Because that's way worse than the $1,500 Calvin Ridley bet. I mean, come on. And that's the next move I want to see from the NFL, is where they go with that conversation.
Young Jedi, your training is complete. I was wondering if you would come to that conclusion, but I am disappointed because it was the headline story on PFT for about 8 hours last night, which tells me you weren't reading the website.
I didn't read it.
We have written about it. We have thought about it, but you're right. You're right. Look, Calvin Ridley includes the Falcons in some parlays and picks them to win, and there's no evidence that he's got any influence whatsoever over the game at all. He's in Florida on the non-football illness list.
Right.
Stephen Ross owns the team. Stephen Ross wants to lose. Stephen Ross offers 6 figures per loss to Brian Flores. These are all allegations. I know they have to prove it. Are they going to go after this the way that they went after Calvin Ridley?
Right,
Are they going to punish Stephen Ross in a commensurate way? If this is true, and I think this has been universally accepted, I haven't heard much pushback against this, he's got to sell the team if this is true. Now, the problem for the NFL is, and see, this is what happens when everything you do is driven by PR. Everything they do is driven by PR. How are people going to react to this situation? You know, the personal conduct policy, it's all PR. And this gambling stuff, I understand the integrity of the game is implicated, but if you catch one of your owners doing something like this, you have to ask yourself, if we make a big deal out of this, what's going to happen?
Yeah, right.
What are the consequences?
Right.
Is this going to be the scandal that gets Congress to create a federal agency that has oversight of our business and tries to tell us how to run our business and sends people in to inspect and looks at all sorts of stuff we don't want them looking at? Not that we know there's anything in there that's wrong, but, you know, you get somebody who's in there, they justify their existence by finding something that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing, even if you didn't realize it. That's what the NFL is trying to avoid. They need to set that aside, though, and do a fair investigation. You've got Brian Flores alleging that this offer was made. You've got an unnamed witness, as reported by NFL Network, partially owned by Stephen Ross himself, that heard this. And I've heard too many times now this idea that Ross is going to say he was joking to make me think that he doesn't realize.
The old $100,000 lose a game joke. Oh, that silly guy. Oh, man, he's funny.
Yeah, so anyway, if you're going to throw Ridley out of the league for a year and take away his only source of sports-related income or significant compensation, $11 million gone, delayed for a year, assuming that the Falcons even keep him when he comes back.
Right.
You know, they forced Stephen Ross to sell his team. He's going to walk away between $4 and $5 billion, and he's still got his real estate company. Yeah. Now, he still could be prosecuted under the Sports Betting Act. He could still be prosecuted, and that would have some real consequences. But yeah, what's the NFL going to do about Ross if they're going to so quickly and decisively throw the book at Calvin Ridley? That's a fair question. And it's funny because some Dolphins fans, I raised that point, and Dolphins fans are like, oh, I'm surprised you hate the Dolphins. Like, dude, you probably should want a different owner at this point. I mean, I think you should get on board with me. Look at the past decade. Probably a good idea for you to be jostling for change. And that gets back to the point we've been making for the past month or so. All that you need to be an owner of an NFL team is enough money to buy one. There's no test you have to take. There's no requirement you know the game. There's no obligation to be a good steward. You just need to have the money. And, it may be that when this is all said and done, the NFL and Stephen Ross are looking for someone with enough money to buy the team from him. If they do, a fair and complete investigation. I don't want to prejudge it, but there's enough smoke out there to make me wonder if there's a fire burning at the bottom of the Brian Flores allegations.
Well, yeah. I mean, just again, I as an ex-player and a guy that's been involved in the NFL, it's just what I don't like. It's just the players are policed harder. They do. I mean, they need to police these owners through this whole thing just as much. The owners got big mouths. They talk to their other rich friends and, hey, this guy's hurt and this guy's going to play this week more than that guy. I mean, there's probably more spreading of inside information from that group than anybody.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.